All right, fats in a ketogenic diet, macronutrient ratios in a ketogenic diet, and the relevance of medical ketogenic diet ratios to people who are doing a ketogenic diet for fat loss. Now, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Macronutrient ratios are irrelevant if you're doing a ketogenic diet for fat loss. They're also irrelevant for getting into ketosis in general. You can be in ketosis eating 100% carbohydrates. I'll give you one example of that. What if you were to eat just a few bites of broccoli or a bowl of greens in a day, and that's all you had? 100% carbs. Most of it's fiber, indigestible, won't be digested, won't be turned into energy, but you're still eating 100% carbohydrates, and guess what? You're probably going to be in ketosis. But another thing, guess what? Ketosis doesn't equal fat loss. Ketosis itself does not make you lose body fat. Being on a ketogenic diet doesn't automatically guarantee that you're going to lose body fat. So if you're doing a ketogenic diet, if you're doing keto for fat loss, macronutrient ratios are irrelevant. Please stop worrying about them. I had an email from a client last night that triggered me to do this video. He asked me, because we had done some adjustments to his macros, we dropped his fat back to give him a more aggressive deficit to make him lose more body fat. Because if you're eating too much fat on the plate, you're not going to take very much fat from your body. It's basic energy balance, basic physics, right? If you eat 300 grams of fat, how do you expect to burn off 300 grams of fat from your body? If you're trying to lose a few pounds of body fat, eating half a pound of fat every day is not going to get you there. I'm sorry. Yes, you want to eat some fats. You don't want to starve yourself of fat completely. But eating more fat doesn't make you lose more weight. It doesn't make you lose more body fat. It's all about context. It's all about context. There's no blanket, this works for everybody, this is the only way. There's many different ways to lose body fat outside of a ketogenic diet. But let me explain a little bit more about why I'm making this video. My client sent me an email. He said, okay, we created this deficit and I'm eating this much protein. For him, it was somewhere around 100 or 120 grams. I forget exactly how much protein he was going for, but he had sufficient protein for him, for his lifestyle, dialed in to him in particular. He's getting enough protein. And his fats are pretty low. Because his hunger is super low, he's finding that he's having to force the food in. And he's still losing several pounds a week. So the guy's got a significant amount of body fat to lose, lots of body fat to tap into. And his body's ready to tap into it. So we cut back the fats off the plate, create a nice deficit, kind of an aggressive deficit for him because he wants to lose body fat quickly. He's got over 100 pounds to lose, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it right, and he's going to do it quickly. He's going to keep it off. But he asked me, shouldn't I drop back my protein a bit and increase my fats so I can properly be in ketosis, to be in keto, he said. And of course I responded to him, no, the macronutrient ratios are irrelevant. You want to burn body fat. So that 80% fat stuff, where does this come from? The 80% fat on a ketogenic diet comes from medical ketogenic diet ratios. They found in the 1920s that kids with refractory epilepsy who were not responding to drug treatment would respond very well to a ketogenic diet. And that's why a ketogenic diet became so popular. For kids with epilepsy, very hard to keep them on the diet. It's a restrictive diet for children. And for these kids, they're growing. So a lot of them would have issues with growth. So they would need to make sure they're getting enough nutrient density. They need to get in more calories. So 80% fat for a kid with epilepsy is absolutely realistic. For the average Joe or average Jane looking to lose 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 even pounds of body fat, those macro ratios are pretty much irrelevant. You get into ketosis by making sure you're getting sufficient protein, by keeping carbohydrates low enough. For most people, under like 30 grams net carb should be sufficient. That's a blanket statement. Of course, it's going to be different for everybody. Everyone's got different requirements for protein, fat, and carbohydrates. But I like to make it easy for you and try to give you this information so that you can do this yourself. Anyways, get sufficient protein. And fats are for energy. When carbs are kept sufficiently low, you will be burning fat for energy. Whether that fat's on the plate or whether that fat's coming from your belly, it's up to you. And the way you adjust that is by adjusting how much fat you intake. So if you want to burn more fat off of your body, then you don't put a bunch of fat on the plate. Basic. Really simple. So yeah, that's that. Eating a lot of fat is not required to be in ketosis. Eating a lot of fat is not required to lose body fat. People latch on to these ideas. They repeat things. A lot of the times what's out there on YouTube, on the internet, it's just things that people have heard. They thought it sounded cool and clever, so they repeat it over and over again. Same thing in the ketogenic diet niche. I'm always sweeping up the confusion from the disinformation that's out there and trying to give you guys the best information, filtered through me, of course, an imperfect messenger, but try to give you guys the best information possible and help you to do this so that you cannot be confused by all the chatter out there. So if you're looking to lose body fat, you don't need to cram down hundreds of grams of fat every day. You want to be eating your body fat as much as possible. And how aggressive of a deficit you can handle or are willing to do or should be doing is all going to depend on individual context. So, eating more fat will not make you burn more body fat. Sure, eat more fat, burn more fat. You eat a bunch of fat, you'll burn fat for energy. But you want to burn body fat, you got to tap into it. So there you go. Macronutrient ratio is irrelevant. If you want to be in ketosis, keep those carbs low. That'll get you in ketosis. But ketosis in itself doesn't guarantee fat loss. And more ketones don't equal more results, as I've said 100 times. So let's close this out. If you're looking for fat loss friendly macro recipes, you can check out our website, primaledgehealth.com. We've got loads of recipes in there. We've actually got a few preview recipes from our recipe book, my wife's recipe book, which she so generously gave me an author credit on for the small amount of work I did on it. She worked on this book for over 1.5 years, and it's incredible. It really shows. The Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for ketogenic, low carbohydrate, and paleo cuisine, is available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. We've got a lot of free recipes from the book posted on the website as well. So if you're looking for more than just a cookbook, a training manual, it'll teach you how to format and formulate your keto kitchen, how to properly create ketogenic meals. We even show you in most of the recipes how to adjust the macros accordingly. How to remove or add fats or protein according to your needs and your goals and your context. And also, all the recipes are fat loss friendly. We're not giving you 70, 80, 100 grams of fat per serving. We're giving you fat loss friendly macros. All the recipes got macros. There's an entire section on organ meats and on utilizing some of the most nutrient dense cuts of meat that are often neglected. Teach you how to use liver, how to properly prepare these things, because they can be really good. There's even an entire section on how to use spices to bring out, and how to use flavor combinations to bring out and accentuate other flavors. How to make things taste sweeter without even adding a sweetener. You can do it just with spices, just surrounding things with the right texture, with the right taste. So anyways, if you want to check out the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, it's available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. It's available in ebook format, and yeah. Eating more fat doesn't make you burn more body fat. The answer to your stall is not always cut protein. It's almost never cut protein. And it's almost never increase your fats a whole bunch. It's all about context, though, people. I'm sure somebody's going to take what I said out of context, and that's what the comment section below is for. So anyways, primaledgehealth.com, you can find more information. You can find loads of articles, loads of free recipes, as well as our recipe book, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook. More than just a cookbook. It's a training manual for ketogenic, low-carb, and paleo cuisine. Signing out from the Andes, and I'm hoping it doesn't rain anymore because we've had enough this year. primaledgehealth.com. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.